where Jarvis Butts, the man charged with sexually assaulting and killing 13-year-old Naziah Harris.
So I'm saying, you was the last one to see her alive, right?
Yeah, before school.
Before school. So what happened?
I told y'all that.
So what happened after school, though?
You figure it out. Y'all got everything, right?
Right thing and tell us where she's at, please. I'm sorry, Judge. Just do it, Jarvis. Where is she at, Jarvis? Just tell us.
She did deserve love from her parents and everyone who was in her life. She was ignored, she was neglected, and you took complete advantage of that. She wanted someone to love her, and she will never know what that feels like.
I ain't got your sash on.
But I'm Team Boy.
Hey, y'all. I'm Rainbow.
Okay, so I want to give you guys a quick update on the Naziah Harris unfortunate situation that's happening. By now, we all know what happened at that gender reveal party, and a lot that happened was supposed to take that creep off the streets for good, but it didn't. And we all know that the grooming probably did not start that day. It only was finally recorded on paper, and that authorities knew about it that day, but what good would it do? DPD, the Detroit Police Department, has stated that the 2022 claim was never investigated. The claim that stated Naziah and another child was inappropriately touched by Jarvis Butts. The Assistant Chief of Police, Charles Fitzgerald, said, quote, "We could have done better, no question. We just did not do enough of it," end quote. I would like to know exactly what the police did in this situation, because the only thing to my knowledge that the Detroit Police Department did was arrest Jarvis Butts for carrying an unlicensed gun, and he's also a felon, so they arrested him for that. But the situation with Naziah, they did nothing at all. 20 months before she would get off that bus, and 20 months before she would meet Jarvis Butts at that mechanic shop, 20 months before she was pregnant, missing, and presumed dead, she told someone, an adult, what was happening. The file was given to the correct people. They had this report on their desk, and they passed it every day. The Lynn, L-E-N, the Lynn Law Enforcement Notification was sent by the Child Protective Services, CPS. But what is a file going to do if no one opens it, reads it, and takes it seriously? CPS spoke to one of the girls, which didn't disclose that any abuse was happening. It's under my suspicion and my assumption that that girl was Naziah's younger cousin, perhaps that daughter that was informed, persuaded, even maybe threatened not to tell that daddy would be taken away, that she didn't want to become a single parent, for those that slightly may have forgotten. So they investigated only one claim, but not Naziah's. I wonder why. Isn't this situation was 2 claims from that house? Why not investigate both claims? That's what I don't understand. Now, perhaps Shannon was not living there yet. Remember, she was living in another part of Detroit. Maybe she wasn't there yet. However, still, Naziah was with her grandmother. They couldn't just ride over there and continue. The claim, I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. Naziah was not interviewed. She was not able to tell her side of the story. And it looks like she may never. The Detroit Police Department claims that they will do better next time and ensure the same mistake doesn't happen again. So yeah, it's a little too late if you ask me. There has now been a double murder because people failed to do their job. Naziah and her unborn child. A double murder. And I guess somehow JB convinced Naziah that, it was okay. I mean, she's seeing no one has come. No one has, told her anything about this. Maybe they think she's a liar. We don't know what they told that child. I mean, she didn't want to be a troublemaker, getting JB in trouble. So maybe she stopped talking about this altogether. Now, according to www.wxyz.com, if you would like to research this a little bit more for yourself, last month, more claims were revealed concerning Jarvis Butts as the subject with multiple children. That's right. And Naziah's name is, of course, on one of those complaints. So I'm trying to figure out, are these new claims? Are people now secure with the fact that this man is not going to get out of jail this time? So they came forward? Or are these claims that were bypassed along with Naziah's? That's the part that I don't know. Because we did hear in another video that I did hear that there were more testimonies that was added to the docket, more witnesses. So we will have to wait until this trial resumes to know exactly what's going on. And if it's children, then we'll only be able to read about it unless, of course, you are in the courtroom. We will only be able to read about it. So I'm wondering, are those claims new children that have now added to this unfortunate circumstance? I don't know. Naziah's great aunt, she had a falling out with Aunt Shannon. She was very close to Aunt Shannon, but when she found out that Shannon knew about Jarvis's past and she accepted it and continued to have multiple children by this man, she really didn't want to have that in or around her life anymore. So she stopped being as close as she was with Shannon. And her name, Janelle, is on a lot of this paperwork as well. She was trying to get Jarvis Butt's ass looked at and arrested, but it never happened. So she was trying as well. She said, quote, "They are the police. They're supposed to investigate everything. But the department never investigated, at least not with respect to Naziah," end quote. Yes, they received her file. The department received dozens of files on SA against children in Detroit, Michigan. They received 5,000 files last year alone in 2024, and we know that Naziah's name was on one of those files. So I guess the police are saying that they are overwhelmed with files and bypassed hers daily. So the CPS was negligent to only investigate one claim from a household, even though there were two claims. They only, for some reason, investigated one and went with the fact that they are denying anything happened now. The school was negligent from not coming to Naziah's aid when she laid on the floor in pain and crying. No one came to see what happened. Instead, they put her on that bus and she got off and she went to where Jarvis was at his shop. They all have admitted fault, every last one of them. Now, with Grandma Annette being as greedy and as money hungry as she is, she only, and we know, she only fostered and adopted these children. It wasn't out of love. It was strictly out of money. That's what she did. Now, the rest of this is me in my own words, okay? We know that the United States is a very suing country. CPS, DPD, and the Department of Education all could have been sued. Naziah Harris' family could have been billionaires before this was all over and done with. But let me tell you why that won't happen. Now, to refresh everyone's memory, for those of you who may have forgotten, Annette has sole custody of Naziah. After Mervyn Jennings and Kenyatta Lady Harris had given her the custody. Even Judge Sabri, she said that Annette's preliminary interview in court, remember? She said that it was questionable, to say the least. No, she won't get a dime. She won't get a dime at all. All she is trying to do right now is to keep herself and her twins out of jail. That's it. She won't get anything because Naziah was groomed, Naziah was SA'd, and Naziah was perhaps murdered on her watch. She had so many times to stop this, and she didn't. And she lied so much. Unfortunately, the videos that I had of Mervyn Jennings, a lot of my videos, Justice for Naziah videos, were taken away. And Mervyn even said she had become just a liar. She even pretended at one point she didn't even know who Jarvis was, saying, oh, she dated my daughter. Like this was some past boyfriend that dated your daughter for 2 or 3 months, and now you have no idea where he's at. No, this man fathered 5, some say 6, but 5 of your grandchildren, and you don't know who this man is. So he started to not believe her. He started to not trust her at all. He even asked her, what about a memorial for her, if not a funeral? And she didn't do anything about it. She has sole custody. She has to say what goes. She didn't say anything about it. And Mervyn ended up passing away, never finding out what has happened to his daughter. So it's very sad. And rapper Skilla Baby had offered to pay for the funeral, but there hasn't been a funeral yet. I'm pretty sure he would pay for a memorial too, or even have stuff in place for when it happens. But to my knowledge, nothing has been done yet. Nothing at all. And I guess, again, he is awaiting the word from Annette. So that's it with the story, Everybody has admitted their guilt. Too little, too late. I have started to cover the story of Janiah McMichaels. Besides her name very similar to Naziah's, she has a very similar story. She's 13. She may have been pregnant, and she disappeared the day before she was supposed to start school. She also had a father that was somewhat estranged, but he did pay child support, and they called the father to tell the father that she had been R-worded. And they asked the father, was she living in good conditions? And this was all right before she disappeared. So this is another tragic story. Again, her name is Janiah. Another story that I am covering. 2 young women that I hope justice comes very quickly for them and really soon. I hope they're found. I just hope so much, but all we can do is sit here and play the waiting game. Unfortunately, people know where these little girls are. They're just so wicked and they're just so evil that they won't say. So for now, justice for Naziah Harris.